Creativity flows from the creator to the created and to the master.
I think another prime is off the hip hop radar a little bit, but Dave Chappelle, I think, is a good example of this. You know what I'm saying? Where you got something, nobody really expected Chappelle show to take off the way it did. And when it blew up, here come the people with the money. Hey, get the bill. But we want you to do this and say this and say this and do that. Now you got the audience push out our message. Oh, you got the audience. We're going to give you, here, buku, unprecedented amounts of money. But, you know what I'm saying? Today's credit is, ain't about the money. I wasn't rich when I started this. I wasn't doing it to get rich. I was doing it to make people laugh.
Yeah.
My way, you know what I'm saying? My stuff. And now you want to add this, do this, don't say this, say that. That ain't me. You wonder why he just left. You had to leave. After you tell him no, you got to get the fuck gone. You got to stay no for a while. You can't tell him no and then still try to do your thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you bucking and you uppity. Oh, hell.
Yeah. Money. Well, I tell you, people do anything for it. It's a major influence.
Yep. It really, 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 really is.
Mm-mm.
Money. This is gonna sound real crazy, probably, but I'm gonna say it is a tool, but it ain't what people make it to be.
Because I relate that to her. I was like, listen, money is a tool just like any other resource that you have. It depends on what you do with it. It depends on what the individual person does with it. I said, so I turned around and said, well, is money the root of all evil? She says money is a root of evil. I was like, oh, okay.
You know what? Now that's interesting. I don't know. I don't think money really is
it's more
good
greed.
or bad.
It's about greed and it's like the greed of it.
But that don't have nothing to do with money.
No.
That don't have the greed don't have nothing to do with money itself. Money is actually a neutral energy. It's a neutral energy. It's a piece of paper, or it's a, you know what I'm saying? It's really it's fiat, as baby say. But it's an object. And when it depends on how that object is flowing. Like if the object is flowing toward this, then it's subjectively good or bad. But at the end of the day, if we leave money on the table, it will sit there.
I think about one-hit wonders within the music industry.
Wow.
I think it's smart. I love to have a one-hit wonder. I got a couple songs right now that,
because I was looking up one-hit wonders, and it's like, yeah, they're one-hit wonders, and I guess by so-and-so standards, they're like, oh, you're a failure. But think about it, one-hit wonders, we're still hearing the music today. Stuff has been, I've heard stuff.
All you need is that one banging hit.
That's really it. And I don't think that's a failure. I think it's smart. I mean, everybody's goal and visions and stuff ain't the same thing. I'm not in the business, but if I was, I ain't gonna be doing all this for no money. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, it's certain things you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no telling what kind of, like, how it's rumored, like all the rituals, if you want fame, it's certain things you have to do. It's a certain
the Illuminati. You believe in Illuminati?
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying it's rituals. Stuff out there. People talk about it, the conspiracies of hip hop, all the time, or just music, period, of the entertainment.
I'm gonna put it to you like this: there's certain things we know, right? We know that people in business with each other don't trust each other unless they got something on each other, right? I can't really do business with you if you know some shit about me and I don't know some shit about you. It's always got to be that bit of, okay, you can hurt me and I can hurt you back. That mutual, the mutual annihilation thing? Why we never drop bombs on one another, because it's no winner type deal. So, you know what I'm saying? I got dirt on you, you got dirt on me. You know, you hear a lot about selling your soul and all that kind of stuff in the hip hop game and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they do say rituals and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think it's so much as like a ritual type deal when they say selling your soul. I think it's like your manhood, you know what I'm saying? It's like these white dudes with this money, they get these brothers up in here, you know what I'm saying? I be hearing them talking about they send a stylist to you. You know, you got brothers now running around in dresses and all this kind of stuff that, you know what I'm saying? They flaunting money around, but they really not doing no record sales like that, you know what I'm saying? But they signing deals and, you know, like that. That's how they getting in that game and that notoriety. It ain't their music, it's who they with and who say they name, you know what I'm saying? And what do you do to get to that point though? You know what I'm saying? Like, to get the notoriety that you do get, what do you do to get to that point? I think that's where that selling your soul mess come in.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Hey, look, I can make you famous. Here's a record contract right here. 1.7 million signing bonus. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get that to you right there. But you know, like Aquila said with your masters and stuff, I own your masters. You know what I'm saying? You doing the work, doing the shows, but you know what I'm saying, that money coming to me, I'm giving you a percentage of the money you making. You know what I'm saying? It's basically like going to work at Burger King. They charge so much for what they give you, but pay you so little for producing it. That's just the way it's done.
Now, when you think about it, Prince, one of the greatest musicians of all time, he got to the point where he wrote "slave" on his face. People are like, they don't know. That's the ignorance of the music industry. And I think that's what they count on too. They count on you not knowing the ins and outs of it. Yeah. That's what they need. That's what they need job though.
Yeah, you're right.
We're running away. It's the living talk. We're running away. It's the living talk.
I'm so glad to see people like starting to do their own thing, like here on YouTube. You know what I mean? People doing their own things, starting these podcasts and these sketch comedies and, you know, just on TikTok, people, you know, just people doing their own thing. Hopefully that'll change that. I don't like that. I really don't.
Man, I mean, think about it though. If it's built into the pillar, and you're trying to break down a pillar, they're not gonna let you do that. They're gonna come at some point. They're gonna come for your hammer. Like, give me that. This ain't meant for you. This is meant for me. We still have to. We and people don't want to think on that term. You have to at some point when you scale. Like again, once you start scaling stuff back, you get into the politics, into the ideologies, all that kind of stuff, and you see so much isms, all these isms, and it's like that's what it is. This country is not built for everyone to have equity. It's almost like a totalitarian relationship. It's like the ruling class, the ruled. That's what they want. They don't want everyone to eat off their pie. No, it's not built for that.
That's been every major society in world history has been built like that.
Yeah.
Upper class, lower class supports upper class. That's why in the end, when they become too big, they fall upon themselves. Because the foundation they're built on basically is crumbling because it's the dying lower class. So once the lower class decides, I don't want to be the foundation for you no more, it crumbles. You got the foundation leave. What you build falls on top of itself from zero.
And meanwhile, They have us pitting against each other. We're all competing for those crumbs they give us, and we're all competing for it. And they constantly trying to divide you. They divide you here, they divide you there. Not realizing that if they get it, if these people that they're divided, if we all come together as a collective, like, hold up, we have more in common than we do apart. We focusing on the wrong stuff. It's them. You need to start targeting.
It's divide and conquer. But see, that's exactly what I was just talking about. But see, that when that day comes and that happens, that's not like it's a reckoning, yes, but that's also the day where your civilization, as you know it, crumbles. And you have to then again start over, because once you realize that it's those little that have you fighting for everything, and so many fighting for this little bit, and you decide you're not going to do it anymore, that's when, okay, now you have to start over. So, that's the fall of the Roman Empire, or, any empire, Byzantine, whatever empire. You know what I'm saying? They get to the point where they get too big to sustain themselves.
Do you think that's what's happening now?
Yes.
Yes. It's clearly what's happening now.
Yeah.
Clearly. I mean, what I'm saying, it's getting to the point now, after the Trump administration, like, they just come out and blatantly say, no, this, I'm trying to help you do nothing.
Exactly.
I'm here to try to make sure I got it, and the people that help me get it, they can get a little too, because that's who helped me get it. But if you ain't rolling with me, I ain't rolling with you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's come basically, with a two-party political system, that's basically how it's going to end up anyway.
But it's more than two parties, though, right?
Two main parties.
We don't recognize two parties. There's like 5 or 6 people. We don't recognize two.
Yeah, they don't have enough support to be changing.
But that's a people thing, right? Politics, that's not my lane. But I know I'm asking a question, but that's a people thing, right? I mean, we say they don't recognize it, but if the people push for it, if the people stand up and participate in these things, and push these agendas, would they not have a choice? It's not about what they recognize. We the people. We the people of man.
That's just it. Those in control will do anything to stay in control. Mm-hmm. So anything new is suppressed, because that takes away from your ability to control the masses. So you don't want that new out there. You don't push that. That's why, back to the artists, conscious artists don't get play, because they don't want you thinking. They don't want you thinking about shit, or being conscious about yourself and your surroundings and what you do. That's not what they want you doing. They want
you to react, not to think. They want you to react, because when you think, stop. They don't want you to stop and think. When you think, you have to stop. Like, okay, let me think about this real quick.
But when you are thinking, they want you thinking about partying. They want you thinking about the next pair of shoes you buy. That's the kind of shit they want you thinking about. The shit that makes you spend money. See, conscious self-awareness, you're not spending money. You're becoming aware of what the hell is going on. That's free. That don't cost a dime to sit down and do that. But they can't make money if you're not buying shoes. They can't money if you don't. They're not making money if you're not buying the purses with the bodies that you looking at that you want to be like, you want to dress like. Now she got a Birkin bag on her damn wrist or whatever that costs $7,000-$8,000 or whatever.
If not more.
Oh, that's too. You know what I'm saying? And now you do this and that or whatever, yada, yada, yada. But they not telling you, you know what I'm saying, you can do that being a doctor. Hell, they don't give a fuck how you do it, how you get the money. Just get the money. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. I agree with all of what you're saying, what both of y'all saying, but that's like case in point. it's like it still falls down to the individual to make the choice. At the end of the day, it still falls down to the individual to make the choice. However, there's such a heavy influence, you know, through music, through TV, through society, just the cultural basis of material things and outside. Everything is outside. Everything is outside of the body. You know what I'm saying? It's what other people think. It's when that's not even real. So it falls down to, and I agree with everything, the whole setup. But at the end of the day, it takes each person, each individual to be accountable to think. Because as long as we're not thinking, not us, of course we're thinking, but as long as we're not thinking, it just gets out of control. They win.
Right. Let me take it even deeper for you. Okay. Public schools, the schooling system. Let's think about this. If it wasn't mandatory that you send your child to school, you couldn't go to jail for not sending your child to school. Do you think everybody would send their child to school?
But it's not. You don't have to send your child to school.
No, but what I'm saying, I mean, you can homeschool them, but what I'm saying is, I guess let me put it, like education, the education that most of us do get, or most people do get, the public education or whatever, is out there, you know what I'm saying? But you have to obtain it one way or another. Either you gotta go to school or you have to be public school, because it's a law. Mm-hmm. You have to school your child. If you're not in public school, you have to say you're homeschooling your child.
Yeah.
Now, what you do and all that kind of stuff, your curriculum is, but you have to, okay, I've taken responsibility for educating my child. But what I'm saying is, if that wasn't mandated, that you have to educate your child, how many people do you think would?
And where does that come from? Where does that come from? I see where you're going. And I mean, and that's, to me, that's sad. That's sad. Because where does that come from? That's just like sending my child to school, expecting the teacher to teach him everything. That's not even realistic. That's not real. A teacher cannot, okay, that's going to be in my next show. I kind of talk about that a little bit. OG come through. Ooh. Anyway, and kind of mention that about learning. You know, people have this false sense of thinking that when their children go to school, not everybody, but when their kids go to school, the teacher can teach them everything. That's not even real. The teacher can only teach a portion of what they can teach. First of all, they don't even teach what they should be teaching.
We would like a male perspective. We can't assume we know what a male perspective. We can't say, oh, yeah, and you know, and black men like, no, we don't move like that. So
yeah. And we actually have a topic we're waiting to talk about. We want to break down the dynamics of the Black family.
Oh.
He's like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a topic we've been waiting to really dive into and go deep with. Because everybody's experience is different, of course, and we need a male perspective for that, especially the Black man. We need it.
People don't understand, but you know what? I mean, like the impact of slavery on our people is, they don't, you know what I'm saying? I think that's a direct reflection to the way, you know, the values we hold in our families today. I mean, when you know, the whole Black Lives Matter, people don't understand why I mean, yeah, we got to get to that point too, but hell, shit, at that point, we didn't even think our lives mattered. You know what I'm saying? You were taught that your life didn't mean shit. You were born to get up and work. Period. Hell, if you ate, you did good. And you worked until the motherfucker said you couldn't no more. You didn't sleep unless master said you could. You wasn't anything. You know what I'm saying? And then they don't realize that to them, I mean, that has been their opinion and their view of us since the beginning. We ain't been shit. So how do you not understand why we ain't shit to you now? We ain't never been shit to you. Our lives have never been, we've been a commodity since day one. Even to the ones who didn't ride with slavery, they wasn't doing nothing to stop it. I mean, it was only a certain few that was like, oh, the atrocities of slavery is not right. But hell, even most of them was like, well, yeah, you know, we should free the black people, but give them, you know, and get them the fuck from here.
I mean, Abraham Lincoln wanted to kick this. He literally, when he ended slavery, wanted them to go back. He wanted them out of America. I'm like, how that work? How that work? How that work?
Hey, I brought y'all here, but hey, load up. I'm finna carry y'all back.
Yeah.
But
you know, so y'all be free to do what the hell y'all want to do wherever the hell, but not here.
Because we're not considered original inhabitants of this country. Motherfucker, you're not either.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm excuse my language. That came from deep. I'm sorry.
No, I love it. I love it. It's all good. We grown. Shit, I don't care.
You know what I'm saying? And yes, it's on us. It's upon us to overcome that. But we got to realize that first. Well, first we got to realize that hurt. You know what I'm saying? And accept that. You know what I'm saying? That fucked us up. We got to accept it before we can move past it. A lot of people that say, oh, don't blame the white man. No, don't blame the white man, but shit, hold the white man accountable. Because the same thing the white man did, until you hold him accountable, he's still doing, just in different forms. All this shit is the same. Policing came from not just slaves, but after slavery, Jim Crow, making sure these vagrants wasn't running around. Ooh, the niggas wasn't running crazy. Mm-hmm. That's where policing came from. Look at it now. What do they do now? Still running around bothering black men, protecting white people from the black man. We still running around talking about the police is supposed to protect us too. No, they wasn't never designed to protect you too. They were designed to do what they doing now. Keep your ass in check. That's the whole process. And then people don't look and realize that's where all this came from. It ain't nothing changed. Yeah, we got a few more privileges. Yeah, we can vote. And most of us still don't. Yeah, y'all allow us to make a little money because you realize, okay, shit, slavery we can't put them back in slavery. So in order for them to work for us, we gotta pay them.
And that's the argument. That's the other side. That's the argument that they use. Oh, well, we're not a racist country because look, so and so is successful. You have Oprah and Obama. You will always have outliers. Always, always, always. Mm-hmm. But now they done twist again because now they put a black face saying some of the same stuff that is counter to what Will just talked about. When it's like, okay, y'all keep talking that mess, but when they're done with you, they're gonna let you know.
Mighty convenient for them to say, oh, you have opportunities, when no, we don't have nowhere near the same. You hold us back from building generational wealth.
Well, I'm gonna say, let me say this right. I understand where you come from.
When we had Black Wall Street, you bombed it. When we were on our way to building our neck of the country like you had, y'all shut that shit down. Oh, hell no. We can't have y'all on the same level as us. And that shit is still going on. And that's there is no black generational wealth in this country. Black people ain't had shit back in the day. Ain't no black people had land.
It's changing. What I'm trying to, you're right. I agree. However, we can't give them that. We can't give them that. It's changing. We, just like they're whether they ever take accountability for what they done to our people, who knows? No. But what we can do is take accountability for ourselves. They can't stop nothing. Who you gonna stop? who you gonna stop? You understand what I'm saying? Like, not like there, we can. I can, you can, we will. You know, we can own land. We can start generation. You can leave your kids, nieces, nephews, family, a whole bunch. We can. That day has changed. And what I wanted to say was, Mister, when you was like, master, when you was like master, that's so real. And when people hear master, they think you're only referring to slavery. I grew up listening to my daddy and my mama. We talking about 70s, 80s. My parents were older, but we talking about 70s, 80s. I grew up hearing them when somebody white talked to them, Mr. James, Mr. Richardson, I mean, but in a way that if it was somebody black, it'll be Tyrone. But right. If it was somebody white, that's Mr. Old Man Richardson now. That's old man. You know what I'm saying? That's how they still talk. It's equivalent to master. So it ain't just slavery. It run deep. It run into this last century. These problems. So you're right.
Slavery never ended.
True, you're right, because slavery is of the mind now.
Yeah, but not even that. I'm talking about the economic.
Oh, we got less than a minute. We're gonna have to bring this back.
Economic aspects of slavery never ended. They just figured out how to enslave the whole population. It ain't just niggas. They got the white folks enslaved too. They figured out how to make all of them work.
I agree.
But slavery never ended. It never ended.
I agree.
They go in different forms.
Yeah, those are chains that we can break, y'all. They're already breaking. I'm not enslaved. I am not. I'm not.